Hello and welcome back to Bold Brain channel. Today we are going to continue with our Dynamo course. Yeah, I want to see you cheering in front of your laptop or computer, okay? Because yes, today we are going to continue with a very practical example where Dynamo is concerned, and we are going to be modeling a facade, a very special one. So first I want to show you what we are aiming for right now. Right here I have it, somewhere around here. Okay, so this particular webpage is called treadhunter.com/triangular-building. What I liked about this design was that it is focused around a shape, which in this case is the triangle, obviously. However, the facade is not regular. It's not just any square facade that you could find anywhere, but each of these pieces is unique. So easy to program when everything is regular, but what we do when we are facing a challenge such as this one? This one I'm going to solve in this video. Right here I have what I will normally have as a start. I've done my best to imitate the form of this facade, actually having this irregularly made. These are only model lines, okay? So even you can go from this point. No design is simple. You have no excuse in order not to start using Dynamo today. Okay, so what are we going to be doing? Nice. I just showed you what we're going to be doing, and now we're actually going to start. Right, we open Dynamo, first step. Second step, if you hadn't done so already, download our Dynamo guide because I think it will help you tons. Do it if you haven't done so already. I'll leave it right here for you, okay? Now let's start. Now the first step, as usual, is to do a little sketch, freehand sketch, of where you want to head towards. Okay, so let's see where we'll be heading towards. First, what do we have? The 2080, okay? We have something like this, and we want to achieve, okay, so it goes something like that. I'm drawing with my mouse right now, okay? So I may be an architect, but it's really difficult to draw with this on your hand. Glad you weren't actually looking while I made this torture. Okay, I did something like this. This is the beginning. We have model lines, and at the end we will want something like that with triangles. I'm going to try for one triangle yes, the other no, just to show you as an example. Okay, so these triangles will have to be either of one of these two options. One, they can be an adaptive component, an adaptive family, okay, with 3 points. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The second one, you could be working with curtain walls, okay? For this particular example, I'm going to be using adaptive points, yeah, so adaptive families. So our aim is to get adaptive components by points. Now, in order for this family to actually work, we need an adaptive family. I have it somewhere around here. Hold on a second. So I have it right here. It's called triangular panel. If you see what it does, it's just an adaptive family with 3 points. Okay, so this has already been done. Next step, we actually need to do this geometry. So to draw these lines, oh my god, to draw these lines would be the second step. The first step will be to actually get these model lines. Okay, the ones I'm currently drawing. Oh my god, this is turning out to be a torture. If you actually know how to draw well using only your mouse, you can feel free to leave me a comment saying I'm the boss. but I don't really know how to use this when drawing, okay? So first we want to actually get the model lines. That would be the first step. Second step will be to divide this surface, okay, with these straight lines. Third step would be, and this I'm drawing apart, to actually get both the perimeter, the top of the bottom line and the bottom lines, and then these lines in the middle. What for? In order to divide the lines with points, okay, with these points. This will be the third step. On the fourth step, we will have to sort these points in a way which will allow us to actually model the adaptive family. So that will be the fourth step. I really hope you're following me this far, because this step is extremely important. Actually drawing and being able to visualize what you are going to do. Because if you don't do this, what you will be doing will be just blindly putting notes on your Dynamo. But if you understand this simple schema, then you are going to be following this alone quite easier. Okay, so let's get back. We only have adaptive component by points, and it is demanding a family type, which I already showed you was triangular panel. Okay, now we have to give this node points in their correct order. In order to do that, we have to do all the development here, but right now I'm going to freeze or block this node so that it won't be continuously trying to model triangles here in my Revit model, okay? So how do I get the lines? These are the first steps. Lines. We can first select model element and select model element. Why I'm dividing these two? Because I've got model elements right here, the perimeter, okay, of my would-be facade. On the bottom of my model, I have a different line that would be the division. Which division, Luis? This one, okay? This is the one I have at the bottom, which is the one I have drawn right here. So first off, model elements, I select this. Wait a second. I'm going to select them like this, like such, and I'm going to select the line below like such. Perfect. Now we have the two lines. Now I want the geometry of these elements in order to work with them. So I want the geometry with element geometry. I can get that. If you are going crazy right now because of all these examples, I strongly suggest you to download the Dynamo Bold Brain Dynamo guide, which will be right below this video in the comments section and also in the description, okay? So don't worry if you don't understand it. Perhaps you haven't read the guide. It's all right. Okay, now we have the geometry of the elements, and you may notice that I already have it on the back of my screen. Does this look good? Yeah, it does. It looks way better than this. Okay, I know that. Okay, next step. So we already have the first step. Yeah, first step. Now what we needed, what was it? Okay, to make these parallel lines. How would I do that? I could just translate this geometry. Okay, I'm also going to flatten this list so that I can work better with it, so that I just have one level instead of three. And I want to translate. I will be using this direction distance in order to have a little more control. My direction will be upwards, so I need the zeta axis vector. Yeah! And the distance, I'm going to be moving around from 3 to 12 meters, and I want 4 elements. Great. This isn't actually working. Why? Because of the lacing. I have to choose longest lacing. Okay, here we go. Now I want to intersect both geometries, the perimeter with my lines. Let's get geometry intersect for that. Now, if I do this, wait a second. I prefer using the perimeter of the facade because this way I'm actually doing the perimeter with each of the lines and I'll have it more sorted. So in order to have this as a perimeter and not as 4 separated lines, I'm going to transform it into a polycurve. A young corpse. Okay, yes, like that. Just like that. Without tolerance. And I have here just one polygon, okay? Just the polycurve, which is the outside of my facade. And now I have points in order 2 by 2. Okay, so I already have these lines expressed by 2 points. I already have these lines. Yes. Number 3, but I really need also these 2 lines. The upper and the lower line will describe and will actually form these triangles. So how can I get those? First, I'm going to just define these lines because right now I only have points. So let's draw a line using them by start point, end point. And in order to actually draw this, what I want is to get the start and the end point separately. I can do that by using list get them at index, which will help me get the indexes, the points divided, only the first part of the intersection or the last ones. Okay. And I already have my lines right here. Okay, here I have my 4 lines. Perfect. If you have reached this point in the video, please do me a favor. Leave me a red heart emoji if you thought this was difficult, very difficult. You couldn't understand it. You didn't understand why list get mad index was. Leave me a red heart. If you thought this is easy, I can easily follow this explanation. This is piece of cake. Okay, piece of cake. Leave me a blue heart if that was your case. Okay, so I have already done the third step, which, only to remind you, was to get the bottom line and the upper line. And I'm going to explain it to you right now. We had these 4 lines and we also did this intersection. Okay, we were right here. We had lines by start point and end point. And what we needed was to get the upper and the lower part. Now, what I did right here was go back to our perimeter, which was right here. As you can see, if I click it, this is the perimeter. And I wanted to get the upper and the lower lines, which if you go by them, you can check they are in blue. You can check them out right here because of the numbers. So these ones are item 3 and 1, okay? However, number 3 was reversed. It went the other direction. So what I did was just to reverse the curve, and after that I added the lower line as the front line to this list and the upper line as the end of this list. That was all I did in step 3. Now, this tutorial is getting a little complicated for the level of this YouTube course. So what I'm going to do, everything moved. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you, I'm going to explain it to you. Don't be scared if you don't understand everything. The important thing is that you get the general idea. Also, if you want to really achieve a proficiency level where Dynamo is concerned, I'm leaving you right here a link to our new Dynamo course. Perhaps you will see the course, perhaps you will see the waiting list, okay? It depends on the moment that you actually watch this video, for you to consider if you want to achieve a proficiency level in Dynamo. So I'm going to show you the resolution that will get us to the last step. We were somewhere right here, yeah, as lead item to end. Until this point, we have reached together. These were the first 3 steps. Getting this out of the group. Thank you, you're not included here. So these 3 steps we walk together, and these last steps are a little more complicated but easy if you understand what we are trying to achieve. So what I did right here was to divide the curves, to split the curves by parameter, which actually gave us this list of points. Okay, all our curves, all our lines are split by points. All this just right here is just sorting our list out. What are we actually doing here? We're just working with the list. We are dropping the first item, and right here we are getting the second line of list. How are we doing that? I'm going to start a new drawing. I'm not saving as this piece of art. And what we did, I'm simplifying just with 2 lines. I wanted to draw the triangles, okay? So what I did was to get, I had my lines here, first division, second division. What I did was to get the first item of the first line, second line. Then I got the second item, which is index 1 of the second line, and then I got the first index of the first line, and this way I got my triangle. And repeating this process. However, you have to be extra careful when considering the ending, which is where I have to drop the items so that I get lines or points in groups of 3. I got it here, right here, and this is why it is so important. Right here I have like 3 lists of the first points, the second points, the third points, and I transpose the list. What for? So that I will actually be able to have these points in groups of 3. And considering they may be nulls when it actually doesn't close, when modeling a triangle, I'm filtering these nulls using a filter by Boomask, which again we explain all about in our Dynamo course. And at the end of this exercise, using adaptive component by points, and right now getting this, which was exactly what we were aiming to achieve. If you enjoyed this tutorial and you like the example, you can download it right here. I'm leaving it with our Dynamo guide. Also, you can check out our new Dynamo course right here, and you won't believe what I have been preparing for the next video. I think you are going to love it, and it's an example about